Guys, there is sex in the book. We are all grown up here. You are just thinking, how can I cut a reel on this? The whole team waiting here with scissors.
With scissors. Ladies and gentlemen, Chetan Bhagat asking Gen Z to open their mind.
I thought, what if I go out of fashion? I'm hanging out with helpers and drivers and figuring out who's all their gossip. And there's really nothing to do. You come and your wife is going to work and you're sitting with your mother-in-law. And she's just watching you and giving you that death stare. इस आदमी की औकात नहीं, उसको कोई प्यार नहीं करता. अच्छा ठीक है तूने छोड़ दिया है, लेकिन अब पैसे कितने कमाता है? I've been writing for 21 years. I know what I'm doing. People should get their mentality checked. 18-year-old can decide whether they want to get their sex organs removed and mutilated and get new ones because they feel they are trans. Then a 21-year-old girl can say, I like this stand-up comic. He's really amazing guy. Is it lust or is it love? Is long-term lust love? When I wrote Two States, 2009, there was no concept of situationship. To me, all these faltu things keep me up at night. There's a lot I've given. Ammunition is there. If you want to attack it, you can. I don't want to be remembered.
You don't want to be remembered?
I want to be missed.
Today, we are joined by one of India's most widely read authors and outspoken commentators. He graduated from IIT Delhi and went on to do an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. He worked as an investment banker and then changed tracks to become a writer. His books have sold millions of copies, inspired Bollywood adaptations, and his opinions in the Times of India column have sparked debate on everything from India's youth to its geopolitics. Chetan Bhagat, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We have a lot of young audience
Yes.
and especially today's youth and Gen Z want to do things on their own. Entrepreneurship is cool. Going out on their own is good. What are in that journey of yours when you left the job, the secure job, and did something different? Were there any moments where you thought, okay, I think I've made a mistake? Or because I think
After leaving. That's an interesting question because yes, the process of deciding to leave itself was a tough one. It took me 2 years, like I told you. I had to visit a therapist. I had to really get an answer. I was very confused because that was a very painful thing because I thought, what if I go out of fashion? I never thought at that moment, 20 years later, I'll be sitting in the Brut studio still. Most things go out of fashion. You could be a meme. You could be a trend, But then the good question you asked is what happens afterwards once you do it. The immediate thing that happens is you feel a void because there's a structure a job gives you. Monday morning, we take certain things for granted about a job. We hate jobs, but it gives you something to do. A purpose is defined for you. What can I do? I have to go to work.
You have to get up in the morning.
I have to get up. I have to take a shower. When you quit, no, you don't need to. You don't need to shower. Why do you need to shower? Fundamentally, nothing pushes you.
Right.
It becomes a life where it's all without structure. The second thing you miss is colleagues. In my banking job, everybody is well qualified, educated. So you get used to having intelligent adult conversations. Now there's nobody. I'm hanging out with helpers and drivers and figuring out who's all their gossip. And there's really nothing to do. And you miss having intelligent conversations on national issues, cricket matches, things like that. Suddenly you feel you have no colleagues, That was difficult.
So you feel alone in a way?
Yes. And you've left to become a writer, but it's not like you're you're laying bricks, that you have something to do. It's just, okay, I have left. Now what? How do I fill my day? So that took a while to adjust to. But now I don't understand how people go to work because my life is, I have no time and I don't know how people accommodate Monday to Friday office. I hats off to them because I don't know, my day, I don't get time to do things. So I think it's the first 6 months are that void and a little bit of not regret, but like directionlessness that I knew I had to leave that, but I'm not very sure where do I go now.
What were the conversations like at home with your wife or your kids Or
It's bizarre, man. I mean, like, imagine, it's very like humbling to wake up and like your wife is going to work and you're sitting with your mother-in-law and she's just watching you and giving you that death stare. That dude, like, do something with your life. I mean, it's not like I was like so nationally known then, and I mean, it wasn't like all sorted. The Chetan Bhagat career of today wasn't there.
a lot of judgment in the beginning.
I felt it. Maybe they didn't even mean it. They were just reading the newspaper. But I would see that from the newspaper, they'd look up at me and say, "Oh, he's still sitting there. It's 10 o'clock. Okay. When he's going to stop having that tea?" And get up. I mean, what do I do? Even if I get up and stop having tea, I'll just go sit in another room. And so that was a bit like, I think for a man, it's still not accepted that easily that he's stay at home. Right? That's the reality. Maybe there are more acceptance now, but at least at that time, but 20 years back or 15, 17 years back or so, I don't think there was, like, at least personally, I felt shame in like not being busy enough as a man. But you know, I had to leave. So I slowly it all became okay.
And you mentioned, you went to therapy, you saw therapists, etc. Tell us a little bit about that journey inwards for you. What was going through your mind? What were you looking to sort out in terms of answers?
So rightfully so, some people were telling me that you have a hit book, maybe you have 2 hit books or whatever, but most authors do not have multiple successful books where people keep anticipating. They have 1 or 2 books, they get celebrated for that, and that's always a part of their life, and you can go everywhere with that, but it's not a career. And you are especially writing for young people of India. You're getting older. Some other writer will come and they will grab their attention and you will just be gone. You were a thing. Like I said, a meme of the past, era, like the dancing uncle at the party video, where like he was hot for 2 days and then what does the uncle do if he had quit his job? I was that uncle.
And do you think a lot of the insecurity, and just before you were talking about the cultural societal expectations for a man, is to be in that mold, and do we think that we put ourselves through it unconsciously?
I think so. Whether it should be that way or not that way is a separate discussion. But definitely, I think a man has no worth in this world if he's not something.
If he's not earning something.
He's not earning something, he's not providing something, he's not accomplished at something. He has to have, as they say in India, औकात. थोड़ी औकात होनी चाहिए. जिस आदमी की औकात नहीं, उसको कोई प्यार नहीं करता.
And were there any instances from that time that stayed with you, which you said drove you even further to make sure that you succeed?
Yeah, like the thing is, I come from very competitive colleges. Like
Okay,
all my
right.
friends are from IIT, still date
Right.
from IIM. And these are hyper competitive individuals. They cleared those exams. They are running big banks, companies. So when I quit, my friend circle is same. So the first thing they would ask me, one of them asked me in a party was, अच्छा ठीक है तूने छोड़ दिया है लेकिन अब पैसे कितने कमाता है? Now, I don't think it was a harmless question from his side. He maybe was just genuinely curious. But it had a profound impact on me. Because I was like, I will show him that I can make money in writing. I'll show him. So I tried my best to extend my brand. I started doing motivational talks, which I still do, TV appearances, everything. My God. I mean, and I burned the candle on both ends. I lost my health, fitness, mental peace, a lot of things. But I made money. So that 10 years later, when I go to that party again, he asked me and I say, I make similar to what I went to that party, and he never asked me that question. And then I realized what a stupid fool I was. And that's what we all do. We live our lives trying to impress others, get the validation of others, get the approval of others, and then you realize you've not lived your own life. I left because I wanted to write. I love writing. If I wanted to make money, I should have stayed in the bank.
You were anyways making money.
Yeah, and I would have made more money by really working harder and maybe switching jobs or doing my own startup, which a lot of my friends have done and made a lot of money at. But that was never me. I never want to be that guy. And why am I then feeling insecure when someone says, okay, now how much? But that's because I have been myself in those competitive environments where you must compete and money becomes a measure of how successful you are. But today I see it differently. Money is also coming now, God's grace. But that's not why I wrote 12 years. I don't have to write for money anymore.
I was going to just ask you, does that dictate any portion of the kind of
I have so many books. They are all earning royalties. They still sell. 5 Point Someone still sells. Right? These are all almost like apartments I own. They get me a rent, like a royalty. And then I do motivation talks and I have investments. I mean, it's fine. My kids are already older. I don't need that much, and I have enough, more than enough. I write for the joy of creating an amazing story that only I can create. I mean, it's deceptively simple, this book, but at the same time, it has layers and layers of complexity, and it's still funny. There's just, I get a joy in doing that. And that's why I'm doing it today.
I want to discuss the book with you and get to it right away. So tell us a little bit about this. I'm sure you know it's already being discussed on Reddit threads. There's a lot of chatter.
It's not even out. As the time we record this, maybe you're seeing it after it's released, but it's not out yet. And people have passed judgments.
So even in my newsroom, we're like, we must get Chetan Bhagat. They were like, why is he taking these two protagonists who are years apart? The woman is Jen, purity. The man is, wiser because he's older and divorced.
So I'll tell you what the book is. Then you tell me what is the issue some of these people are having. Because honestly, even I don't understand some of their issues because it doesn't hold up to logic. So this is 12 years. My messed up love story. So it is a messed up love story. I'm literally telling you, owning it.
In the title.
That it's messed up.
Okay.
Saket is 33. The guy, he's divorced. And the girl is 21 and she's never had a boyfriend, Payal. That's the story. 33 minus 21 equals 12. 12 years. Other nerd me will always come up with titles like this. So what's the issue? I want to ask you, what have you been seeing on these Reddit threads? And can you please explain to me what are the problem I've created in the minds of some people by just announcing not even the story. I mean, it's just the basic plot premise.
Right.
Yeah.
So from my understanding, what my young colleagues tell me, it is in a way what they call grooming. Which what they're saying is basically the woman is always shown as somebody who doesn't have a boyfriend, so she's pure, she's Jain, so it's purity, everything to do with purity. While the man, he's it's called experience because he's divorced, he's older in age, so all of that is passed off as experience, and so. Why is there such an appropriation? Okay, so let's delve into that. I mean, it's interesting. From my understanding, and I think I'm right about the literal definition of what grooming means. Grooming refers to minors. Right.
That's when people who are less than 18, they are not able to open bank accounts, vote, drive a car, and they are seen to be not of age at which they can make these decisions until they are 18. In our country, in other countries, it depends. It's a different ages, but usually it's 18.
Right.
And grooming is when somebody who's a minor, which is not an adult, is manipulated and groomed in a way, like manipulated to get into a sexual encounter with a person who's adult. That's what grooming is.
Right.
Payal is 21, not even 18. We are not even doing barely legal kind of stuff going on here. She's 21. She's working in private equity. She went to Stanford. She's cracking deals in private equity. I think the moment you start loosely using terms which are very serious, grooming, it does a disservice to the people who are actually victims of grooming. Second, it infantilizes women. To me, it is disrespectful of women to say that a 21-year-old woman who's accomplished so much, who's went to Stanford, who's worked in private equity. All this is written at the back blurb. So this has been announced.
It is in the public domain.
It is in the public domain that she's in private equity and all. So are you saying, and he's a stand-up comic, so she's probably earning more than him, but you're saying she can be groomed. So should we take away the rights to vote from 21-year-old women because they are groomable? Are the politicians grooming them? Are her parents are telling her to get married soon? Is that also grooming? Should she not have property rights? Should she not have, a 21-year-old girl can clear the UPSC exam and become a IS administrator Should she not be allowed to do that? Because she can be groomed. And if she had a boyfriend before, then it's okay. Like if she had shagged a neighbor when she was 20, then it's fine. Then this relationship is okay. And I have not used any such word like pure and impure. I mean, why is the guy impure? Because he had a divorce? That speaks of these people's mentality. Maybe their mentality is like that. I never in my mind thought of that. I made a hero who's a divorced guy. Pure or impure, I'm taking a huge risk because in our country, there is a huge risk, stigma around divorce.
Right.
And I'm announcing that the boy is 33 and divorced. Immediately you're at a back foot because, in a love story, the boy and girl have to be highly likable, desirable. So these are some of my confusions about this, that how can they just suddenly say this? Plus, we have real life couples existing, celebrity couples, who when they post their couple pictures, millions or thousands of comments come there saying couple goals, so cute, you guys look amazing. Why should we tell that man that you're a groomer? I mean, what are you talking about? Do you even know what grooming means or what pedophilia means? It's a very serious issue. It exists in society. Age gap relationships exist in society. Can they be messed up? Yes. I'm calling it messed up. That's why it's interesting. That's why it makes a great story. So I think that's all I have to say on that. Secondly, even if someone had to, this is not that story. Even if someone had to write a story about, let's say he wants to bring out how grooming is done and it's not good, he should be allowed to do it. I mean, it's story. I mean, then we should never, like if I'm...
Yeah, I'm sure the word love would not appear in
then
that.
It don't, that's a different kind of story.
It would be a love story. It would
Yeah. But these are people of more than adult age. These are proper professionals. So I think it's disrespectful to women to infantilize them like this by saying, oh, she's groomed at 21. What age is she not groomed? 24 is okay. 27 is okay. 22 is okay. What happens on that birthday that suddenly it's very wrong to, I think, ascribe things like that. It is something, if I don't manage the age difference sensitively in the book, it could come across as creepy. But I have not done that. I've been writing for 21 years. I know what I'm doing. I have HarperCollins as my publisher, which is 7 team of editors, all female. They are more woke than any of these Insta commenters. They will take my case if I try to do anything like that. Nobody pointed out anything. They loved the story. They are so excited about it. So I think it's unwarranted. Let the book come out. And people should get their mentality checked. And don't be disrespectful to women by calling them groomable at 21.
Right. I'm sure we're going to, thank you for that. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of comments and on this.
You are just thinking, how can I cut a reel on this?
I think you've given us the reel already.
There's a whole team waiting here with scissors.
With scissors, that they are going to take this. But a quick question on this, and thank you, Chetan. You just told us you have a 7 women editor team who's been very, very conscious and I think, points out many things to you as you hand them the manuscript. Very quickly, this is something I wanted to ask you in terms of, would you...
I want your views. So you're a person who is independent minded. You've covered journalism for a long time. What do you think about this? What is your take on this?
All right, so I'll put my take out there. Although exactly what I'm trained to do is never put my take out there.
I know, but I'm literally asking.
But you are asking me, so I'm going to put my take out there. The question was actually related to it. I was just going to ask you this. Probably today's young generation is looking for, because maybe there's been so many stereotypes, right? And they sort of fight harder to break those stereotypes, whether it comes to women, men, etc. Perhaps maybe the expectation from somebody like you for a love story could also be the other way around. Could be an older woman, divorced, changing roles, maybe different kinds, because pop culture in a lot of ways, especially in the 90s.
What will you call a writer who's pandering to what the people want?
No, of course, not a writer who should pander to what people want. But since you asked me, what I'm saying is possibly one of the reasons could be because maybe millennials, specifically millennials, and a lot of us have been brought up on pop culture of the 90s movies, and there are many things which now have not aged well. Right? So I think everything, and this is even before the book has come out. So I'm sure when they'll read the book,
I think
it'll be, maybe a lot of this will not stand.
It won't stand, I know. But I think people should not be quick to judge. And if you are saying that a 18-year-old can decide whether they want to get their sex organs removed and mutilated and get new ones because they feel they are trans, then a 21-year-old girl can say, I like this stand-up comic. He's really amazing guy. I want to date him. It's okay. And not everything has to be a crisis. Not everything has to be exploitation or oppression. Sometimes it's just cute. And, sometimes people just click, and maybe that's also a stereotype they need to demolish. If the guy is older and he just had let me just tell you, he just had an arranged marriage. His parents told him to marry this girl. They were completely incompatible. He left her. So how is he now the experienced guy who will manipulate the girl?
You've already given us a bit more.
No.
Than,
so clearly
than
it's been. So I think there can be different contexts. So we should not just judge just on that, And I totally get it that but this is not a nubile virgin story. It's just happens. It just happens like that. A lot of girls meet a guy who someone would have had to have a relationship before. And in my case, the boy is older. And it's a little more conventional, I guess. So what you're saying is, why didn't he do something unconventional?
Ladies and gentlemen, Chetan Bhagat asking Gen Z to open their mind and to look at, and not judge something which has actually been written in a very different way.
We do not have outlets in our art, popular art, to discuss certain very important things. We are all confused. On one hand, we want the opposite story, like you're saying, somebody will say, why can't the woman be older? We are not ready. Where are we discussing relationships? What forum is there to discuss our age difference is okay? We also live in the times where this new word has come, situationships. It wasn't there earlier. When I wrote Two States, 2009, there was no concept of situationship. Boy loves girl, girl love boy. Our parents are not convinced. Let's convince parents. In 2025, that will not hold. That it will be very cute and sweet, but it will not resonate. What will resonate? We ourselves are not convinced. We are dating, we are having a great time.
We are not sure.
But we are only not sure. We are only not convinced. How do you know someone is the one? That question today is very hard to answer, especially when people are looking at options all the time on their phone. So I felt that will make a great story where the couple is so mismatched, they themselves do doubt. It's okay, we date. And I'm just revealing, but they have insane sexual chemistry. I'm just telling you guys, there is sex in the book. We are all grown up here. And there's a lot of sex in the world in terms of pornography. There's nothing close to that even. But I don't know why my sex scenes get people so agitated sometimes. But I had to show it because it only confuses them more. Because the sex is really good. But then everybody tells them, this is not going to work long term. This is not good. And they are also not sure. But then there is this chemistry between them. I thought that is what we live in today. And that's what made me very excited about writing a story like this. Can I execute it? And I also felt I have 20 years experience now it's not an easy story to execute, that I can execute this kind of story.
And did you feel, like you said, the young people now have a lot of options, especially on the phones, etc. You felt that you wanted to bring out how crucial it was that the chemistry was there, the sexual chemistry was there. And then there was the other angle of the culture, which is telling you, this is not going to work out. Yeah. Was that sort of the tension you were
Yes, that's the tension,
for?
The internal tension between them. Is it lust or is it love? And it's, I think, something a lot of people will resonate with today. Is it just lust or is it love? And what is love? What is it? Is long-term lust love? Maybe. Is the sex good because there is actual love between them? Or does it feel like love because the sex is so good? I don't know. And that's why you need to read the book. So I thought these things, my friends have opened these big startups and they think of how can we grow to 1 billion, 2 billion, and how can we raise capital, 5 Series B, Series C. That keeps them up at night. To me, all these faltu things keep me up at night. Is it lust or is it love? How do you know someone is the one? It's fascinating. I think it's amazing. And I think it's amazing. We were talking about money earlier, that in 2025, somebody out there is in the age of AI and video content is making a living selling books and doing a pretty decent job at it. I think that I'm happy about. See, let us see when the book comes out what else people say. They will say a lot of things. There's a lot I've given. Ammunition is there. If you want to attack it, you can.
I think you're almost looking forward to
I'm not looking forward to it, but once you know it's going to come, once you know you're going to take a cold shower, you might as well get prepared.
So why romance, Chetan? Why do you write romantic novels? Why is it? What is it about romance? And I want to add a sub question to that is, how do you want to be remembered as a writer?
I'll answer the second one first. I don't want to be remembered.
You don't want to be remembered?
I want to be missed. Now that's spoken like a romantic writer. That is who I am.
So the romantic idea is what you are married to, and want to keep alive and be missed.
I want to be missed. I want people to feel, yaar, behti hava sa tha wo. Kahan gaya usko dekho. That song should be played when I go.
One last thing. Any anecdotes you can tell us from any of the films when the adaptations were taking place that meant a lot to you? Was there any moment where you said, okay, I can't imagine this is actually happening? You imagined a character, and now that character is an actor, and you're on the set and it's coming to life. It's literally
it happened. It has happened many times, but one thing immediately comes to mind is when Two States was being made. I didn't go to the shooting a lot. I only went once to Ahmedabad. It is the only movie that was allowed to be shot in IIM Ahmedabad. And they did that because I think an alumni's book or whatever. So I went there and I went to the mess. They were shooting in the mess, that scene where they're eating in the mess. And Alia was there. Alia wasn't that big yet at that time. She was a huge star now. She was known, but one movie, Student of the Year, only that. And she was, the costume designer had given her clothes, which are the typical, that Delhi bandhani kind of thing.
The skirts and the...
Exactly what my wife used to wear. Like, I don't know how, it was uncanny. And my wife also has a round face. Alia also has a round face. And she was just sitting there holding the same plate. It was the same mess food they were shooting and eating. And I just went and I really thought it's Anusha, right? I was like, whoa. And then I was Alia. And then I thought, this is based on a story which is based on my life. And this woman is now portraying my, that time's girlfriend. And she's sitting here and she's clueless about me and she's just doing her work, right? It was bizarre, to see, because the same mess workers who used to feed us were feeding them. And they recognized me. And it was just crazy that because of some silly thoughts that came up in my head that made Two States, this is happening. The whole campus was so much excitement, right? Nothing like this ever happens, that a movie shoot is happening right in the mess. And that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Something the investment banker Chetan Bhagat would not have had.
No. Yeah, never. No. I just feel like if I'd stayed there, maybe I would have made more money for some rich people in the bank. But there would be no Three Idiots in this world. And that's a shame.
That would be a shame. I'm going to shift gears. I wish we had a lot more time and we could go on discussing. But I'm going to shift gears quickly to the columns you write.
Sure.
Chetan. And for me, these are just a few that I'm going to pick, which would be really interesting. A couple of months ago, you had written on how the youth is spending so much time on social media, on their mobile phones, that we are actually looking at a generation that is going to be, it's going to be very difficult to have any kind of skill sets. And I think that sparked a lot of debate. It's something, what struck me about that column was that it's something all of us have thought of. Tell me a little bit about, and you made no bones about putting that out there. Tell me a little bit about what sparked that column. What is the thought process?
Yes. Okay. I mean, see, every generation, that gets older thinks we were wiser and these
Of
young
course.
people are stupid. It happened to us. When we were young, our parents thought we are stupid. But so there is some of that playing out here. But there's some very big difference with Gen Z. They're the first generation that are completely native to the internet. They've grown up with the internet. They've grown up with screens, phone-based communication, phone-based commerce, phone-based content. Everything is, and that makes them very comfortable. It's they don't have the burden of real conversation as much. They get things delivered. They can entertain themselves solo with their phone, which also means they have less resilience and very high comfort desire. They find it very difficult to be in situations where there's a bit of stress, bit of anxiety, things like that. So I yesterday read a term bed rotting, which is basically you sit in bed and watch content all day and just watch reels, watch shorts, do nothing. And it's hailed as a form of self-healing. It's not healing. It's just mild depression almost. It's healing when you like say, okay, I'll go for a walk or I'll play some music, I'll write, journal, whatever. So there are some real mental health issues this generation will face because of this technology being so invasive in their lives. That particular column I wrote in respect to AI. That AI is coming. And is AI going to take away every job? No. It's definitely going to take away some jobs. What are the first few jobs it will take? It will take away jobs that require very low creativity and low skill.
Right.
Write a simple tenancy contract. They cannot replace a full-blown lawyer who will argue cases, but it will definitely give you just put the address of the location, rent, names, boom, here's the tenancy agreement. These kind of things it will do. Robots will come and they will do a lot of the labor, which is low skilled. In India, we have an education system and the way the Gen Z is trying to, there's no desire to learn more.
No desire to learn more, you're saying.
Yeah, the AI means using ChatGPT. That's not learning AI. That's just becoming a consumer of AI. So what is going to happen is for India, anyway, the jobs are going to be the low skill jobs. These people will have jobs, but those are the exact jobs AI will take first. So we can have a very major crisis coming if we don't understand this factor and we don't get lulled into watching cheap content on cheap data. And I think there's something to be concerned about. We've had countries like China who really tried to take on innovation, science, investments in the right areas. They're at a different level now in terms of AI, in terms of robotics, and of course, US. We need to really reinvent ourselves, and therefore the youth also has a role to play, government also has a role to play. So it was in context of that.
All right. I'm going to quickly shift gears to your column on what flooded Gurgaon. Tell us. You point out the risks in obviously Indian urban development, right? What are some of the urgent reforms in terms of cities and Gurgaon in specifically?
Yeah.
How do we go about it?
I think it's important to understand why Gurgaon exists. And it's also important to understand that Gurgaon is suffering not because it's bad, but it's because too good. And I'll explain that. Gurgaon and Noida, where we are sitting right now, exist because Delhi didn't have a good land policy. Delhi is probably the only major city in the world which didn't allow private development. Apart from making some kothis and all, you can buy plots and make. But no organized private real estate was allowed to. Only DDA was making. And it was woefully inadequate to build the kind of offices and homes we needed for a more modern India. Gurgaon took that because it was just outside Delhi, so the jurisdiction changed. Noida took that. DLF did a great job. First, they made homes, so people would live there and come to Delhi to work. Then they made offices, which were grade A offices. The only place where you could have really good offices, so the multinationals came there. So then the people started going from Delhi to Gurgaon to work. And it became so good that everybody moved there and it just got choked. So the broader solution is we need 50 Gurgaons. For that, partly is the infrastructure. You need good homes and grade A offices in smaller cities, like in Indore or, whatever, like a Rajkot or wherever it is. Also, you need to change the small town mentality, which we never talk about. Why aren't companies moving to the smaller cities? because the young talent doesn't want to move there. Because there's a small town India mindset where if they see a boy and a girl going out having pizza at night, they'll say, "Ye kya ho raha hai? Ye galat hai. What is she wearing?" Nobody wants to live like that in modern India. And that regressive mindset needs to change. Infrastructure in these cities need to change. And the load has to be taken off the 5 or 6 cities like Bangalore, Gurgaon, which are just choking up. But Gurgaon itself, like I said, was created because of Delhi's bad policies. It was actually a surrogate for Delhi's, it was like a byproduct for Delhi's thing. So it just happened to be in Haryana. But tell me any other Haryana city which is
like that.
It is like a proper city. We don't even know many Haryana cities which are modern. The whole state runs on agriculture politics, which is fine. I'm not judging. They don't know how to handle Gurgaon. They don't know what to do with it. They definitely don't value it politically because it's very small. And they don't see the national strategic importance of a city like Gurgaon today. Everybody is there. Accenture is there, Microsoft is there, Google is there. Everybody is housed there. If these people some of these companies have market caps bigger than the GDP of nations. If they have a negative judgment of Gurgaon, they'll have a negative judgment of India. They'll say, let's invest 1 billion less here next year. It's devastating. So maybe we should really think about changing who governs Gurgaon. I don't know if states can annex cities. That would be a strange one. But, a union territory, a special administrative region, I don't know. Something where center understands that certain cities are beyond a state's mandate. It doesn't fit into the state's politics, but they're extremely crucial from a central point of view. And maybe that can rescue Gurgaon a little bit. Or Haryana gets its act together and they really realize it.
My last question to you, Chetan, is you've had quite a few banters and fights on social media.
I try to reduce them.
You try. So my question is
yes. But in the past, yes.
You try to. So what is it? Take us through the Chetan Bhagat process of when he sees something and how does this work?
So it's changed now. The Chetan Bhagat at 51 is very different from the Chetan Bhagat at 35, where I felt like I have this view and I'm right. And I think a lot of internet is like that. And you don't see it my way. It means either you're stupid or you're ignorant or you're evil. Or all three.
This is something you believed in, absolutely.
We all feel very strong because I felt I'm right. I mean, I thought it through and this, that. But, we can both be right and we can both be wrong. It's just like this age gap thing. If I say, no, I'm right, it's absolutely okay. That 21-year-old or 33-year-old. No. Sometimes it may not be. But sometimes it may be. That is the better centrist approach which I take now. And therefore, I see it the other way also. I'm empathetic to these people who are worried that I'm propagating a culture where young, pure women. But I haven't written it with that intention and it will come in the book that it's not written like that. But at the same time, so I was very arrogant and proud and of my views. And I would therefore get into fights. And now it's like, okay, if you think I'm stupid, I'm stupid. If you think I'm evil, I'm evil. If you think I have no idea what I'm talking about, okay.
It doesn't bother you as much?
No, it doesn't. And I think we should all get to that point in life where it's okay. I mean, some people will not like me. I'm okay. It's that whole papaya theory I have.
What is the papaya theory?
You like papaya?
I do.
Some people, don't like papayas, right? Is it the papaya's fault if some people don't like papaya? Can the papaya do anything? Should it become like a banana? It'll be weird. Banana flavored papaya. So papaya is papaya. Some like, some don't like. It's just the way Chetan Bhagat is. I've been around 20 plus years now. My flavor is well known. Sabko nahi suit karta hai. And it's good. It's good only. Who wants to be liked by everybody? What kind of a writer are you if you've not pissed anybody off? Are you even, what are you writing? Nursery rhymes? Even those piss people off now.
Chetan Bhagat at 51, very different from 35. But thank you so much, Chetan, for that candid views on everything. Congratulations on the new book, and we look forward
Thank
to
you.
reading it.
Thank you.